The Syracuse Orange men's basketball team is a win away from yet another Sweet 16 trip. But before we start focusing on that, there's another game ahead. And against a familiar foe to boot. Syracuse faces the West Virginia Mountaineers on Sunday. And to tell us more about them is Matt Kirkner, of SB Nation's The Smoking Musket, which you can also follow on Twitter. Below, he tells us all we need to know about WVU before this game tips off. It's been a while. How's things? Decent, mostly. The Big 12 has, in general, been good to West Virginia. The fanbases are good to interact with, the games are generally fun, and it was a very necessary lifeboat from an untenable situation that would have eventually led to a drift to complete irrelevance, glances sidewards towards stores. It's not, however, the old Big East. There's no real emotional attachment to any of the games we play, and that's weird and gets kind of stale after a while. For that reason, this is the most excited I've been for a game in a long time. Any key takeaways from the first-round win over Morehead State? I think they got what they needed from it, a legitimate challenge before pulling away late. No one on this team besides Gabe Osabuohian had any tournament experience, and his was a first-round loss at Arkansas. They needed to acclimate to this stage, and that's what they got out of Friday's game. Syracuse has only lost to West Virginia once since 2002. Does that weigh on WVU fans entering this game? Or just add fuel to the fire? There's no doubt that Syracuse has been West Virginia's Achilles heel, even when we had some of our best teams in the Beeline and Big East Huggins era. I think it absolutely means something to West Virginia fans to win this game and gain some semblance of bragging rights in a series that the Orange have absolutely controlled. What's your expectation for this Ears team in this tournament? Would you be happy with anything shy of an Elite Eight trip? This is a team with Final Four potential, but saying that I'd be disappointed with anything shy of an Elite Eight trip is probably inaccurate. I think a potential Sweet 16 matchup with Houston is a good matchup for WVU, but a hard-fought loss there wouldn't necessarily crush me, even though I would expect a win. Not getting out of the first weekend, especially now that a game with an old rival is in play, would suck butt. WVU's a very good three-point shooting team, but as SDSU just showed once again, trying to shoot over the zone isn't the best approach. How do the Mountaineers attack this admittedly average 2-3 zone for Syracuse? I do think this may be one of West Virginia's best teams ever to deal with the Syracuse zone, though never really seeing it will absolutely come into play. West Virginia does have big game shooters, but also has the capability to attack the middle of the zone with Derek Culver.